Alright man, so we're back for another Bleach Rebirth of Souls trailer, and we already knew we were going to be getting Captain Yamamoto this week. So man, we're going to be looking at this trailer, man, but today's anime question is going to be, what is your favorite ability from Captain Yamamoto after you watch this trailer, man? Let me know in the comments, and this link you might be interested in, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn the bell, do all those nice things, and if you want to see more anime game content, make sure to join the Discord pinned in the description, and it is official, boys. We are officially going to jump Festa. I have my tickets and things already. You'll probably see some community tab posts over this week, me asking y'all what things y'all want to see and what characters and what questions you maybe want me to figure out with this demo. So make sure y'all subscribe and all that stuff so y'all can see the exclusive gameplay if we're able to record next week, man. But let's go ahead and hop straight into this trailer. So let's go ahead and see what we got. And as you know, we're gonna watch this normal and then we'll slow it down with the second watch through, man. Break things down. So what we got, man. I don't think we're gonna see Bankai since, you know, that was only in the 1,000-year blood war. So Ryujin, ooh, the head captain who stands above all. Oh, we got a new map too. And is he starting off this blade coated? He has an Inferno gauge, Hellfire state. Okay. Oh, and they got him fighting Ichigo. That's interesting. Oh, like a flame tornado. Ooh, that's nice. What's the range on that though? Okay, nice looking moves. Ooh. So this is Shikai, should be right. Yeah, Shikai, I kind of figured. Bankai is, yeah, he doesn't do that until 1,000-year blood war. It looks like the range of his flames go much bigger though. Ooh, look at that finishing animation. And he takes the shirt off. That's crazy. Alright, so we get into the actual breakdown of Yamamoto. First thing, we gotta appreciate the map once again. I like the details in the back. This is one of the more detailed maps that we've seen since the one with the Grimmjow trailer, which I still believe is my favorite map. But when we look at this man, it says head captain who stands above all other Soul Reapers. His most powerful flame, Zanbakuo, is capable of burning down everything. And with the Yamamoto, we get a new gauge. It's gonna be the Inferno gauge / the Hellfire gauge. And the Inferno gauge will accumulate by activating flash attack and signature moves, etc. Inferno gauge will decrease when quick attack lands the opponent. The more Inferno gauge accumulates, the more power increase, and when the Hell gauge when the gauge reaches the maximum, it changes into Hellfire state. During the Hellfire state, the power will be enhanced, but the ratio will decrease automatically. This is basically just seeming like a gauge that just goes up when you're using certain attacks, and then you're gonna get a damage boost once you get full, and it's gonna actually reduce your ratio. But we see right here that it goes down when you use quick attacks. If you don't know, there's quite a few different moves in this game, but there's quick attacks and there's also heavy attacks. So it seems like you're going to want to use your heavy attacks if you're actually wanting to build up your meter, but this basically is just a buff that's going to give you a little bit more damage and also at a cost of ratio. The spiritual pressure move 1 is going to be the Shiranuri, and attack by releasing the flame forward. Yamamoto will be in a Hellfire state when activated. The damage will increase after activating with long press down input. So I'm curious if this means that you're going to go into Hellfire state automatically even if your gauge isn't high enough, or if this is saying that you can only use this whenever you're in the Hellfire state. It says that he will be in it, so I'm guessing that maybe you'll activate Hellfire state early and maybe your ratio just drain, and once it goes away or whenever the meter is gone, you're going to go out of this state. And there's 2 different activations, but we don't actually get to see it in this gameplay, but it looks like just a basic damaging move that puts some flames on your opponent. The next spiritual pressure move is going to be the Taimatsu or the Narigiri, and the technique will be changed depending on whether Yamamoto is in his Hellfire state or not. Taimatsu normal state activate a lower power attack. The Inferno gauge will not accumulate for a certain period of time after activation. Narigiri Hellfire state release a very powerful slash covered with massive flames. The Hellfire state will be removed after activating. So I'm not sure which one we're actually getting to see, which activation. I don't think we even get to see the Hellfire state in this trailer unless it was in the beginning where you can actually see like the darker shade of red around Yamamoto. But we see right here both attacks when he's actually using this. He hits them with the flame and then like a little tornado comes up from underneath them and burns them. So it's hard to tell how this one actually works, if it looks extremely different whenever it's in the normal state, or if we're seeing both of these attacks in the Hellfire state. But considering that this says release a slash with massive flames, we have to believe that maybe this is the Hellfire state activation, because if this isn't the Hellfire state activation, that means the flames are going to be even more massive when you're using this in his strongest form. And the awakening is going to be Yamamoto's performance will be enhanced by increasing the power output of the Shikai Ryujinjaka. By increase of ratio and increase of damage, Shikai Ryujinjaka makes Yamamoto possible to cover his low agility and unleash his overwhelming power. And we can actually see him using some flash steps, and we can see that he doesn't even have to need to come in contact with you with his actual Zanpakuto to deal damage. We can see that the flames kind of just move with the sway of his sword. This is pretty similar to what we actually saw in the Thousand Year Blood War when he was fighting Yhwach, and also what we got to see when he was fighting Aizen. It's pretty cool how when he just swings, the flames just come up, and you can also see his movement being a little bit better. And we do see in one of his animations that his shirt comes off. I'm curious if this is something that just happens whenever he goes into his Bankai, or if this is maybe just like some character damage that happens over time as you're fighting throughout the match. And with the final screen being characterized by overwhelmingly high damage that will burn everything with its immense firepower. So this character looks like he's very powerful, and he's going to be like, you know, a heavy hitter. But let's go ahead and look back at this trailer slowed down. Alright, man, so we're looking back at this trailer, man. You're going to see in the beginning, I'm going to actually point it out, the bending part that looks like it's like a little bit of his auto combo where you can see him dash in. We see like a little bit of a darker red around his character. And there is a chance that this could be him in his Hellfire state, but we also just saw that animation that his sword had a little bit of the deeper red. So right here, after they show this, the Inferno gauge or the Hellfire state, we can also see that he used this combo, but you can see like a dark red around him. But maybe this isn't the Hellfire state. Maybe this is just his normal strikes, because we've seen this with other characters. First move is going to be the Shiranui, and we can see right here he's just sending the flame out, and we see that it actually does look like it's a little bit bigger on the first one. Maybe it's around the same size. The next one we see the Taimatsu or the Narigiri. We don't know which one it actually is, but we can see he slashes you, and then you can see that the flames keep going around you. Then we got the same little animation that we get for everybody, you know. Gotta appreciate the map in the background. Curious if there's going to be any types of variations to that animation, or if that's just, you know, going to be what it is for everyone. Then we could see him here activating the Shikai. I love seeing the fire pillars go around him, man. My boy's just standing there with aura, just crazy aura. Then we can see a little bit of his moves. We can see him use a flash step after he slashes Ichigo right here. And we can see he's not even coming into contact right there. And he's still burning Ichigo. So this is a pretty cool moveset. And then we can get this final shot of him with his cloak off and him just shirtless, actually doing the finishing, destroying Kumpaku move. And we can see all the slashes, man. The man Yamamoto looks like he's been through a lot. And that's all his moves. So before we get out of here, we got to go to the website and check out some extra details from the boy Aizen. And he actually gave a lot. So this description is basically just saying that, yeah, my boy, he got all the riz, man. Captain of the 5th Division of the Gotei 13. He is loved by not only the Vice Captain, Hinamari Momo, but also the Shinigami of other divisions. So, hey, man, basically, my man is the Riz Lord, man. We've been knowing that. We've been knowing that Aizen is a talker. So this description actually gives a lot about how his character plays. A character whose fighting spirit accumulates automatically, so that's very cheese that he's going to be able to evolution and go into his different forms automatically. It just automatically goes up. And whose battle themselves evolves. As time passes from the start of the battle, he is forced to transition to the second stage, Hyogoku Fusion. So you can see right here that the Hyogoku Fusion of the second state is automatic. It's not triggered, it just happens. And as his fighting spirit accumulates from that state, he can be awakened. After awakening, when his fighting spirit reaches its maximum and his own soul reaches 0, he will reawaken to the 4th stage, Hyogoku Fusion. So this is very similar to Ichigo in his Bankai form, how he goes into his Vasta Lorde form. This is going to be similar with the 4th stage of the Hyogoku. It only happens whenever your fighting spirit is maxed out and when your soul reaches 0. Also, instead of spiritual power, he also has a different gauge, which is the Hyogoku Fusion level, and the performance of his techniques changes depending on this level. At the start of the battle, the effect of Kyoka Suigetsu consumes the reverse gauge and allows him to nullify some character's soul destructing techniques once. So this is kind of crazy. If you use your reverse gauge in the first beginning part of the battle, I'm guessing before you go into the second stage, you can basically nullify using a health bar. Now, I don't really know how powerful this is, because just because you're nullifying a soul destruction move, this means that they've probably already depleted your health bar. So this doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get your health bar back. This probably just means you get yourself a little bit few more seconds to get more into the battle before they actually end up destroying that life anyway. Now we look at some of the extra details, things get a little bit more interesting with him. So one thing we want to talk about with his things, we see right here his power is what we expected, his toughness is what we expected, and he has some of the highest technique in the game. But I do think they found a way to balance him, even though he seems like he's broken. If you look at here, his reishi isn't the highest, so he's not going to have the highest amount of reishi, and one of the smallest things for him is his speed. So it seems like Aizen is not really a fast character. He's very powerful, but you might be able to blitz him with speed, especially if you're playing somebody that doesn't know how to use this character. So these already saw these things. We saw the El Escudo, we saw this one, but we didn't see him, his unique skill. And it seems like he has a lot of moves that are pretty similar to Kenpachi, where he's sitting there and he's taking damage, and the more you attack him or him nullifying this damage, he's going to be able to multiply that and hit you back. And it says right here, take a stance while you hold down the button. You'll be immune to recoil caused by the opponent's attack. When you release the button or a certain amount of times has passed, you attack by releasing a shockwave in the surrounding area. If you receive an attack while in this stance, the damage of the shockwave will increase. This is very similar to Kenpachi's move, and he actually has another move that activates just like this, which is the El Escudo, which is also him just, nullifying damage. So pretty interesting how they're going with, like, a little bit like super armor type character. We see right here, this is the awakening for the Hokaku Fusion 3rd stage. As the fusion with the Hokaku processes, it'll become transcendent reason and abilities are enhanced. It takes some time to awaken, but its stats increase significantly. So this is after the automatic fusion. This is when you go into the form where his eyes are like turned black and stuff like that. It increases his level, but you got to do this automatically. You got to do this with your actual fighting spirit power. What? You got to do this with your fighting spirit actually maxed out. This isn't an automatic transformation. And then the Hokaku 4th stage, this only happens when your fighting spirit is maxed out and whenever your soul reaches 0. So this is like something to bring you back when you're about to get, wasted. You're about to get finished off. This brings you back into the battle. And then we have right here, he said that they replaced his spiritual pressure thingy. He doesn't have a spiritual pressure meter. Instead, he has a Hokaku fusion level. So this can go up to a max of 5, which is going to allow you to do the most damage. And it also increases the damage of some of your Hokaku fusion techniques and stuff like that as well. But one of these actually says that it resets. I'm pretty sure it's this one right here. So after a certain amount of time, so the one that does the automatic transition, the 2nd stage, says after a certain amount of time has passed the battle, the character will transition to the 2nd stage of the Hokaku fusion. And the Hokaku fusion level will be temporarily lost, so it's going to reset it and you're going to have to get your fusion level back up to be strong. Now we don't know if it resets for the 3rd and the 4th stage, but we know for sure that it resets for the 2nd stage. And it says although it will be weaker than normal, it'll be easier to attack from a distance with special flash attacks and step quick attacks. From this state it'll be possible to awaken. So it seems like the 2nd stage is going to be a little bit faster, allowing you to close the distance and maybe control the battle a little bit more. So I'm very curious to see how different each of these stages play and how their different buffs are. But Aizen is looking like a very balanced character with a lot of crazy things, as he should be. Hopefully he's balanced and he's not, just meta from the beginning. But the fact that his speed is one of the lowest attributes does let us know that there's a little bit of hope that you actually can find a way to combat this character. But let me know in the comments how y'all felt about Yamamoto and also Aizen, and how y'all actually feel about me going to Jump Festa, man. Y'all can even start, and y'all want to, if y'all can start putting stuff in the comments, what characters you might be interested in seeing. Of course, all these things depend on what they actually have at the demo, and also if they allow us to record. Since this game just recently got a release date, I'm wondering if they're going to let me record, but you definitely know if they do, you will definitely be seeing some videos. And even if I don't get to record, I'll for sure be doing something letting you know my thoughts about how the game played. So make sure y'all leave some comments about any concerns or anything that you want to know about the game, and I'll try to get all of those things answered. And I'll also probably be doing a Q&A this Friday before I end up actually going to the event, man. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn the bell, do all those nice things, and let me know which ability was your favorite from Captain Yamamoto. But I'm gonna see you on the next video, man. Yeah.